We're finally doing this. The video is finally happened. You guys, I have tried to film this video literally all week. Every single time someone has called me, something has happened. I've had to get up and I have not been able to film the video. I think the furthest I ever got, I got completely through the intro, and then like as soon as I was gonna start talking about the first book, I had to like get up and go for some reason. I don't remember anymore, but I was like, and even right now, this is the third time I'm filming the intro because the first one was bad. The last one was like pretty good, and I was like, okay, I can keep this. But then my dad called me in the middle of it, and I'm stressed. Oh my god, my dad is calling me again! Oh my god. Guys, all I can do is laugh at this point because tell me why my dad just called me to do a favor for him and I had to get... He literally called me while I was filming the other intro and then I restarted because he called me and then he called me again. But so if you follow astrology, you'll know that yesterday was the first day of Mercury retrograde, and if you don't follow astrology, basically Mercury retrograde, so Mercury, if you know about like Roman mythology, Mercury is the god of like communication and travel. So when the planet Mercury is in retrograde, which basically means here's the Earth, this is the way the planets usually move. Retrograde is like from our view on Earth, it looks like the planets are moving backwards. Mercury, the planet of like communication and like technology, is going retrograde, which means it's like reverse how it usually works, aka causing travel problems and like technological problems. And oh my god, I'm feeling it. Literally yesterday I had to copy a Google Sheets form for someone, and I was trying to open it and it wouldn't let me open it in Safari, so I had to open it in Docs, but then it decided that it didn't want to open in Docs because it was a sheet document, which I was like, okay, fair, I'll download Google Drive. So I download Google Drive, which it makes me sign in, and like that was a horrendous experience. And then, so I finally get it open in Google Drive, and then I make a copy, and then I go to edit the copy, and it asks me if I want to edit the copy in Safari or in Google Sheets, and I was like, well, Safari, because I don't have Google Sheets. And so I try to edit it in Safari, and it's like, sorry, you can't edit it in Safari. I'm like, why did you give me the option to edit it in Safari if I can't edit in Safari? And then I had to get to Google Sheets, and like the entire time the Wi-Fi is slow, and my phone is like at 10%, and I'm like, I really need to get this done exactly at this moment, or I will forget. So, yeah. Hello everyone, and welcome to whatever this video is going to become. My name is Zarina, and today we're going to be going over the second half of the books that I read in February. Also, I know if you watched part 1, you know I put on the screen, it showed 16 books. The truth is I actually read 15 books, and the reason that is, one of the books that I read this month, accidentally when I saved it, it like duplicated itself, and it added an extra value, like it was like twice, and I was like, I was gonna delete it, but then I realized, so last month, one of the books that I read was not available on Storygraph. So I was like, I just thought I was gonna have to live with the fact that the number was gonna be wrong all year. But the glitch kind of like, it made the number correct. Not like, I'm sure I could probably finagle it to get the correct amount of books per month, but I honestly don't care that much. So yeah, the numbers are a little wrong. So it's not 16 books this month, it's 15. But still means we're doing 8 books in this video. And I'm sure this intro was already way too long. So let's just get started. Cool? Cool. Okay. More tea. Why can I not? Why? So the first book that I read for the month, wow, that's just a habit, guys. It's not the first book. The first book in the video I'm going to be talking about is Fablehaven, Grip of the Shadow Plague. This is book 3 in the Fablehaven series. If you've never read Fablehaven is about Kendra and Seth, a set of brother and sisters. One summer they get sent to their grandpa's house and their grandparents' house, and their grandparents are known for kind of being like reclusive and like not really like leaving their house, and the kids don't really know much about them, but like their grandparents are the only option to babysit them for the summer, so their parents drop them off, and everything's normal at first, but slowly things aren't quite as they seem, and Kendra and Seth find out that their grandpa is actually a caretaker for a magical preserve that like preserves magical creatures of all types and varieties. And like, unlike a lot of like fantasy books for like middle grade, it gets quite dark and quite adventurous and a lot of fun. I really love Seth and Kendra's dynamic. I love a lot of the supporting characters. So this is a reread for me. I have read all 5 of the Fablehaven books, not in a really long time. So it's really funny because I'm reading through these books, and as I'm like, I read things, I'm like, oh yeah, that, and like there was a character introduced where I was like, oh, it's you! I know you! You're gonna do something! But can I remember how this person does it or when they do it? Absolutely not, because apparently I remembered the plot of this book as like the end of the series, and I know for a fact I've read the 5th book like multiple times, so I know I've gotten there, because also I know that thing that happens with the one character that was introduced in this book. No clue when it happens. I have no idea what the plot of the 4th book is, which, yeah, and then the 5th book, I know I have bits of memories of it, but like that's it. This book, I ended up rating it a 4-star. I think it's a really good addition to the series. We finally get to see more of the world. The previous 2 books take place on just the Fablehaven Preserve, which is the name of, you know, Kendra and Seth's grandparents' preserve, but there's actually tons all over the world that specialize in different things, and this is the first time we get to see one of the other ones, as well as learn more about the Knights of the Dawn, which are introduced in the 1st book, and then we get a little bit more in book 2, and then like in book 3 we finally kind of get more into that world. Yeah, and I just had so much fun. Like, if you like fantasy, and honestly they don't read like middle grade books, they read more like regular fantasy books that just happen to have children as protagonists. Protagonists, oh my god, as protagonists. Kendra and Seth are so funny. Like, they legitimately like hate each other sometimes, and I'm like, this is the most real sibling dynamic I think I've ever read in my entire life. Like, you can tell. I don't know if Brandon Mull has siblings or not, but like you can feel it, because like Kendra and Seth are me and my sister. Like, for real. But yeah, overall, I would highly suggest this series. So I will apologize. A lot of the books that I have for this video are actually library books, so I don't have physical copies of them anymore because I had to return them, and I was trying to film this video while I still had the library books. Yes. I'm gonna be holding my notebook probably for the next couple, because if I'm not looking at the titles and looking at the authors' names, they're gonna be worse than when I usually say them, so let's go. The next book for the month is Lupe, Wong Won't Dance by Donna, Barba, Higuera. I ended up rating this one a 4.25 stars. This is a middle grade book about a girl named Lupe Wong. She's Mexican-Chinese descent, and she loves playing baseball. She makes a deal with her uncle, and her uncle tells her like, oh, if you can get like all A's this semester, you get to meet this pitcher who is also, I believe, Mexican-Chinese, and like her uncle's like, yeah, I'll take you to meet him. The only problem is, so her grades are good in like all her classes, and the class that she's usually like fantastic at, PE, they're actually doing a dance unit, and they're doing square dance of all the dance forms, and so she doesn't know how she's gonna get this A, and this book is about her kind of learning how to square dance. That's incorrect. This dance, oh my god, it was really cute. I really enjoyed it. The dialogue was really funny, and I feel like the character dynamics were really cool. The cast was really diverse, which was really nice. I cried a little bit, and honestly, it was just a fun time. It was a fun read, and it was pretty sweet, and like, I would highly suggest it. The next book that I read was Starfish by Fipps. I ended up rating this one a 5 stars. This book made me cry my eyes out multiple times. The story is about a young girl named Ellie. I don't know if that's actually her name, but if it's not, I'll put it up here. I'm gonna call her Ellie just because I don't remember her name. It's about a young girl named Ellie. She's fat, and she tends to get bullied for it. She goes to school in Texas, and the book is kind of like her finding how to love and accept the body that she's in, even while others around her really hate on her. And this book, oh my god, I was in tears so many times. And I think the description on the back says like she's armed with like with a new best friend and a therapist who's there to help, and like, oh my god, it was really good. One of her main interests is poetry, so every chapter of the book is a poem, and I don't know why I keep stumbling into so many of these books that just happen to have like their chapters mainly be poems. Like, that's not something I like actually actively lean towards, and that's just something I keep happening, and I enjoy it because the chapters are short, so like they're pretty bite-sized. Honestly, this book was a 10 out of 10. I did borrow it from the library, but this is definitely on my list to purchase to have a copy of. I don't know, I just felt like this book was really special, and I would like to have it in case I would ever like to reread it, because oh my gosh. I feel like I'm doing these really fast today, but I have a feeling when I go back and edit, either I'm not being coherent or I'm actually taking a lot more time to do things, and I'm just unaware of it. Maybe it's the mermaid mug. Maybe the mermaid mug is helping us get through this. So, really wild turn of events, okay? So, Starfish, we went from a very, very cute middle grade book can't even say the title. The next book. My face is already turning so red. Oh, the next book. The next book that I read for the month was Lights Out by Navessa Allen. And if you're on TikTok, you've probably stumbled. If you're on Book Talk, you've probably stumbled into one of the examples of the audio from this book. So Lights Out is a dark romance, but like, I did not know that dark romance could fall into a rom-com category, and like that's what this book is. It's like dark rom-com, and it was so good. In all fairness too, so I will preface with the fact that I listened to the audiobook. I did not read the book. I think maybe if I was reading the book, I would have found a little bit of the dialogue and like some of the stuff kind of cringy. But if you listen to the audiobook, the actors are so good. Like, it is so funny. Yeah, definitely 100% check the trigger warnings for this one. It includes, I don't know, stalking. Yeah, probably definitely check the audio warnings. Check the trigger warnings. But oh my god, I incredibly enjoyed it. I ended up rating Lights Out a 4-point star. What am I saying? Am I low energy? I might be low energy. Honestly, guys, this video just needs to get done. Like, I have had my oh, I threw it on the floor. That's what it's here for. To help unfortunate, no poor unfortunate souls. Just poor unfortunate books. Oh, Little Mermaid. Maybe that's where my brain is getting poor unfortunate souls. Okay, you can chill like that if you want. Yeah, that's fine. Just do that. What was I saying? Oh, basically, I've had all this literally, like, set up. Like, my tripod has been set up so I can just sit down and film this video. And I literally have not. Oh my god, now I'm kicking the tripod. So, the next book is also a library book, and that is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. I rewatched Anne with an E recently, and I was like, well, I really want to read the book because I want to see how close it is. And I was actually genuinely surprised how close the book is to Anne with an E. I did not know that the show followed the book that closely. There are definitely changes that they made to the show to make it more appealing to a modern audience, but I really feel like now that I've read the book, they're all in spirit with the book. Anne with an E made me sob my eyes out. The book made me cry a couple times. There is one major change in the show, however, that I did not know was a change from the book, and it was a diabolical change because I was sobbing towards the end of this book. I know that they're technically, I think, a duology. Anne of Green Gables and then Anne of Avonlea, and I do plan on reading Anne of Avonlea. I rated Anne of Green Gables 4 stars. It was good. I think it was a little wordy at times, especially like Anne, but Anne talks a lot and that's a part of her personality. And some of those paragraphs, I was just like, why are you talking for literally like an entire just page of font? Like, and it was the book is a little bit oversized, the copy I had, and like this much, just a block of text. And I was like, yup. Honestly, Anne of Green Gables is just so fun. Like, I don't want to explain the show because like you should go watch it. Like, the book is good, yes, but I think for modern audiences, because of the changes they made, like Anne with an E is so good. To watch Anne with an E for the first time again, that's another show that makes me just want to dig out my soul and think about the meaning of life and conceptualize existence. Because, oh, on like the topic of shows, I recently started watching Dandaran. That's been an experience. I usually binge watch stuff, but like that show, I literally can only watch like an episode, and then I have to sit there and process and be like, what did I just watch? Because I don't know. The animation style is so cool. It reminds me of like Into the Spider-Verse a little bit, like the way it changes as like things are happening, but not the same way. Like it's not 3D animation, it's 2D. But like the motion of like the fight scenes, and it's so trippy and it's so good, especially because like the whole plot of it is like it's a girl who believes in ghosts but doesn't believe in aliens, and a guy who believes in aliens but doesn't believe in ghosts, and they're like trying to prove the existence of the other one to each other, and they end up in all types of shenanigans, and it is so cool. I only finished episode 2, but like, and then the new season of Apothecary Diaries is coming out, and I'm unwell. I think every time a new episode is dubbed, yes, I watch the dub, sorry sub people, I like rewatched the 2 episodes before it, so like I've rewatched some of these episodes already like 5 or 6 times, and I need more. I can't do this like week of waiting, which is also why I literally last night started My Perfect Marriage. I think it's only on Netflix, which is unfortunate because I'm Netflix. But I really just was like, oh, I'll just try the show because it's been on my list for like ever. And I ended up watching it like the entire first season. I started at 9 o'clock at night. I finished it at 2:30 in the morning. I'm still currently watching season 2. I had to take a break. I was like, I can't watch 2 seasons of a TV show in one sitting. Yeah. Yeah, but it's really good. That one I did not realize was like a fantasy series. Again, with me just not reading descriptions of basically anything. Ooh. Speaking of anime and manga, I'm gonna pretend like that segue was planned. The next book that I read was Snow White with the Red Hair, Volume 11. I can't believe I'm on Volume 11 because I think Volume 26 is out. So I'm almost halfway and I don't know how to feel. If you've never heard of Snow White with Red Hair, basically, Shirayuki is an apothecary in a kingdom, and she has bright red hair, which you can see from the cover, and that her hair color is like super duper rare, and it gets her into all kinds of trouble. Like, none of it really her fault, just because other people suck. And she has to run away, and she runs away to the kingdom of Wisteria, where she ends up meeting Prince Zen, and she trains to be an apothecary for the castle, and then more shenanigans happen, and it is romance, and it is very cute, and it's slow burn-ish, but it's not incredibly slow burn. Like, they've already kissed. Don't worry. We're on Volume 11, they've already kissed. And the side characters are so much fun, and it is so chill, and so cozy, fantasy, and this manga gives me faith in humanity again, and I think that's fantastic. I rated it 5 stars. This volume was really good. I believe this is the beginning of a new arc, and I'm incredibly excited because I feel like this is the first like bigger arc outside of the chapters that have anime for them, and I'm so excited. I want to buy the book. I'm not gonna buy the book. The next book that I read was also a library book, and it was an audiobook, and that was Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuinton. This is probably my 5th or 6th reread of Red, White, and Royal Blue, and it's kind of criminal that I don't own a copy. And the main reason is, one of my friends, she has this copy that when, like, if she has a friend who has not read it, she'll give them this copy and let them annotate. So literally, like, this book is full of, like, annotations from, like, 6 or 7 different people, which is a really fun experience. And then, like, I've never listened to the audiobook, and the audiobook was so fun. I enjoyed it a lot. So if you've never read Red, White, and Royal Blue, it basically centers the son of the President of the United States and the second Prince of England. And basically, after they cause, like, international scandal, they're forced to hang out with each other, and stuff happens, if you know what I mean. And it is so cute. It's literally, I love them so much. The banter is, like, top 10. The humor is also like 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, not top 10. 10 out of 10. That's what I was trying to say. There's just some scenarios in here that are just like wild. Oh my god. There's a scene with the turkey scene is like my favorite. I love the turkeys. Like that's so funny. This book just brings me so much joy and like gives me faith that maybe one day like politics could actually look like that. And I'm gonna keep holding out hope. Yeah, this book is technically like the 2020 or 2024 elections, which is weird because we just lived through them and they were not my favorite time period to live through. But this book just makes me like have faith in humanity again. And if you just need something to give you joy and happiness and like literally nothing else, no notes, just good vibes. So the last book that I read for the month was Lightlark by Aster. I honestly was kind of like nervous about reading this book because I have heard like incredibly mixed things about it. And I ended up rating a 4-star. It was pretty decent. My 4-star rating is kind of like, it was overall good. I can't give you a 5-star because like I don't believe you were a 5-star, but you're also not 3-star, which is literally just mid. This was definitely like a straight flat 4-star. So basically, Lightlark is about these 6 kingdoms where all of them each kingdom has a different kind of magical power, except there was like this crazy thing that happened and basically all of them got cursed. So each one of them has like a specific curse that like affects them really terribly. Like for example, the nation that like has sunling powers. They control fire, light, and heat, but they will burn in the sun. So they basically, like, this entire nation of people who, like, probably love, like, light cannot be in the light. And then, like, Nightshade, like, the people who control basically the opposite of sunling, can't be out at night. And then our main character is a wildling, so her group of people can control nature and have an affinity with animals, but to survive they must eat hearts. I thought it was really interesting, and they have, so basically they are, like, the whole plot, like, premise of the book, it is kind of like a game gauntlet kind of thing, where every 100 years the 6 rulers meet up on this island where they try to break the curse. But to break the curse, they must sacrifice one of the rulers, and the rulers that, like, loses, all their people will die with them to break the curse. And the person who breaks the curse, like, wins, gets power from all 6 of them. Like, not all their power, but gets a part of it, and they become, like, the all-powerful ruler, basically. I thought that was really fun and really interesting. And then the main character, she was pretty good. She was a little, I don't feel like she was so naive that it was hard to read, but it was definitely one of those moments where I was like, that's totally not going to come around to bite us. Yeah, and then I did see the twist coming, like, immediately, kind of, like, I think maybe 100 pages in, I was like, yes, you are the one, yes, okay. The vibes were good. And then the thing that I guessed, I was like, you're probably in the solid 4.5-ish rating. There is this one thing, however, with memories. If you've read the book, you know probably what I'm talking about with this, though, the memories. And I just thought that made me so uncomfortable and so weird that I, like, could not enjoy that part of the book anymore. And I also thought she overreacted a little bit to that, and that might just be me, and I found that frustrating. And I don't know, it is, I believe, classified as romantasy, so, like, I did not think it was a love triangle, but apparently it was, and that was the most surprising part to me, I think. I was not aware that this was a love triangle, and until I read to the end of the book, I wasn't even aware that that was an option. And then I got to the end and I was like, oh, okay, you do that, I guess. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna read the next one because I need to know what happens. Like, what? Yeah, it's called, I believe, Nightbane. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see where this road takes us. So you're gonna go this way because you've decided that. Okay, cool. Now that we've made it to the end of the video, usually this is where I sign off. However, technically, because it's the end of the month, we get to pull slips from the book teapot. But because it took me so long to film this video, I already pulled slips because I already did my excursion to the library, the used bookstore, and then Barnes for anything that I could not find literally anywhere else. The 4 books that I pulled: I Hope This Doesn't Find You by Anne Liang, one more volume of A Sign of Affection, I don't know why I'm holding that up, you can't see them, The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, and Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I'm incredibly excited about this book. I've heard so many good things about it. I don't think I've heard a single bad review of it, and I understand this is also a debut novel. I already secured it from the library, so it is here when I'm ready to read it. So the book teapot, basically how it works, is if I read 3 books, I get 1 pull from that, or if I read 6 volumes of manga, or if I DNF 6 books, I get to pull from the book teapot. It's one of my low-buy tactics to get me to stop buying so many books, especially, like, I'm really picky, actually, with what books I like to have, because I don't actually have a lot of space, and it's definitely been helping a lot. The only unfortunate part about getting stuff in the library, however, is that if I really like the book, then I also want to buy it, because I want to reread it. I do have a rule for myself that I'm no longer allowed to buy books by authors I've never read anything by before, because that has just not gone well for me. If you've made it this far, congratulations, you've made it to the end of the video. I believe we're at 41 subscribers. Hello, new person, I really appreciate you. If you want to see more from me, go ahead and subscribe. Part 1 is already up on my channel, and also I have a playlist of all the books that I've read this year so far, which I think is a, like, grand total, hold on, okay, do math. I've already read like 29 books this year, which is kind of crazy. So if you want to see those already, they're up on the playlist on my channel. If you like the video, leave a like. I really, really appreciate it. And also, leave a comment. I love responding to comments. Thank you to all of you guys who comment. I really, really appreciate you guys. What's your favorite teacup or mug? Like, where'd you get it? Like, what color is it? And, like, why is it your favorite? Because, like, this one is one of my favorites because even though it's gigantic, it's actually lightweight, and, like, the mermaid tail as the handle is adorable. Yeah, and also I painted it. So yeah, tell me what's your favorite mug? And what's your favorite, if you don't have a favorite mug, what's your favorite hot beverage? Also, if you don't have a favorite mug, what do you mean you don't have a favorite mug? That's it. Okay, bye! What are we doing? Where are they? On the other side of you, because we're doing the other side today. That preserves, a preserve that preserves. Preserves? Yep, that's all I have to say. What did it rate it? That's not all I have to say.